Brian, can you get our IFR clearance to Atlanta?
I'll get our IFR clearance to Atlanta.
Boston clearance, Delta 2464. We'd like to collect our IFR clearance. We have Bravo.
Delta 2464, cleared to Atlanta via the Blizzard 6 departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.250. Squawk 6232. Expect runway 22 right.
Brian, read it back.
Delta 2464, cleared to Atlanta via the Blizzard 6 departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.250. Squawk 6232. Expect runway 22 right.
Delta 2464, cleared to Atlanta via the Blizzard 6 departure, then as filed. Climb to and maintain 5,000 feet. Anticipate flight level 380 10 minutes after takeoff. Departure frequency is 118.250. Set squawk to 6232. Expect runway 22 right.
Delta 2464, read back correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Delta Airlines and the entire crew, my name is Astrid Hansen, and I would like to welcome you aboard Delta Airlines Flight 2464, departing from Boston Logan International Airport and heading to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. We kindly ask that you take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance during the flight, please do not hesitate to reach out to any member of our crew. Thank you for choosing Delta Airlines, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
All right. Flap setting is 1 up 0.4. And depending on your flex tip, put an F in front of it for flex, or it will not take. Okay. And I don't even know why it bothers to put runway there. It doesn't take it. We're going out on that. Hold on. 22 right. See if that messes with our setting there. It does. We're going to go back 1, 4, 144, 146. Okay. Still 0.4. And flex is 6.7. All right. And once again, runway, if I try to put in 22 right, I don't think it'll take it. It will not. It's okay. On the flight plan. I had a boo-boo there. I had a hiccup. Give it a second. Going out on 22 right, blizzard. Should be coming in on 26 right. Aussie and Flask. Brian, you're in charge of all comms.
I'm now in charge of all comms, Steve.
Please get our pushback and start clearance.
I'll request pushback and start clearance from ground.
Boston ground, Delta 2464, requesting clearance for pushback and engine start. Delta 2464.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing. Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Push and start approved. Tail northeast, Delta 2464.
Two 967 on our QNH. I did not have that correct. It's off by a tenth, but who's counting? All right.
Some doors are still opened or the GPU or the ASU are still connected. I'm waiting for all of them closed and disconnected, then I will proceed.
All right, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
All right, Brian, go ahead and let's do our takeoff brief.
We'll be departing from runway 22 right, flying the Blizzard 6 departure with an initial climb to 5,000 feet. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400 feet, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400 feet, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff.
Here comes the pushback.
We've been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 6232, and departure frequency will be 118.250. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 135 knots, VR is 136 knots, V2 is 138 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
On the safety features of this aircraft, we kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta. 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 Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-on baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from the panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case, life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lab children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table, footrest, and leg rest. Be sure you fastened your seatbelt low and tight across your lap, carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position, or as otherwise indicated on the placard in front of you. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
What happened earlier, what the delay was, is I did not have the APU bleed activated, so when I went to hit the engine starts, nothing was happening, and so but when I went to tap APU bleed, I accidentally hit the APU power, and it shut the engine, shut the power off, so I had to hit that button back, bring it back up, and it did, and walk through the system again. So everything's fine, but it's just a boo-boo. If you're gonna make a boo-boo, that's the one to make it while you're on the ground. Just been pulled back. I just delayed it about 2 minutes. Right. Brian, we're ready for our taxi clearance to runway 22 right.
I'll request taxi clearance to runway 22 right.
Boston ground Delta 2464 requesting taxi clearance to runway 22 right. We have Bravo.
Delta 2464, runway 22 right taxi via Kilo Bravo, November. Hold short of runway 15 right.
Runway 22 right via Kilo Bravo, November. Hold short of runway 15 right. Delta 2464.
There's Spirit Airlines over there, where Spirit still exists
welcome aboard Delta Airlines
in our
flight
hearts
2464,
and minds.
heading to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Our estimated flight time is approximately 1 hour and 55 minutes. We ask that you please pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, as it contains important information for everyone, even our frequent flyers. Please fasten your seatbelts by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap across your lap. Remember to keep your seatbelt fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. Return your seatbacks and tray tables to the upright position, and please open your window blinds for takeoff and landing. Ensure that your mobile phones and electronic devices are set to flight mode. Laptops and larger devices must be securely stowed during takeoff and landing. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if needed. Pull the mask firmly, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Secure your own mask before assisting others. Life vests are located under your seat or between the seats. To use, pull it out, place it over your head, and fasten it. Inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Special life vests for children are available. Floor-level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which is clearly marked. There are 2 exits at the front and 2 at the rear of the aircraft. The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of evacuation, please leave all personal belongings behind and follow the crew's instructions immediately. If a power bank or any electronic device becomes unusually warm or shows signs of damage, please inform a member of the crew immediately. For further details, please refer to the safety information card in your seat pocket. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Delta 2464, change our takeoff runway to 4 left.
Delta 2464, runway 4 left, approved. Taxi via Bravo, Kilo, hold short of runway 4 left.
So we're changing to 4 left.
Delta 2464, cross runway 4 left, then continue taxi via Bravo, November.
Cross runway 4 left, then Bravo, November. Delta 2464.
Our new departure is going to be off runway 04 left. Would you do a brief for 04 left?
We'll be departing from runway 04 left. We'll be flying the Blizzard 6 departure with an initial climb clearance to 5,000 feet. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. After takeoff, we'll follow the SayInt profile. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400 feet, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400 feet, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff. We've been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 6232, and departure frequency will be 118.250. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 135 knots. VR is 136 knots. V2 is 138 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
All right, get our takeoff clearance, and it looks like we'll be having to wait for just one that's coming in now.
I'll get our takeoff clearance from tower.
Delta 2464 holding short of runway 04 left, ready for takeoff.
Delta 2464, Boston Tower, runway 22 right, winds 180 at 5. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff. Climb. Delta 2464.
Prepare the cabin, we're taking off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now preparing for takeoff. Please ensure that your seat belts are securely fastened. Your seat backs and tray tables are in their upright positions and all carry-on luggage is stowed properly. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy your flight with Delta Airlines.
On runway 4 left remaining. 7,000 feet.
Okay, throttle up. Pressure on yoke. $80 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps are retracted.
Delta 2464, contact Boston departure on 133.0.
Ground spoilers are
Boston
disarmed.
departure on 133.0. Delta 2464.
And
Boston
Rust
departure,
is
Delta 2464. Good morning, climbing through 1000.
Climb setting.
Delta 2464, Boston departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 13,000, turn right heading 160, direct Kenmore when able, then continue on course.
Climb and maintain 13,000, right heading 160, direct Kenmore when able, then continue on course. Delta 2464.
I don't understand what he just said. I may need to double check it. Ken W. He's sending me all the way to Ken W. Where is...
Delta 2464, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Climb and maintain flight level 210, Delta 2464.
I chose, I can't find the waypoint he wants me to choose. You see it? And I think it's because I chose, I messed up on choosing the correct departure. So what I've done is we need to get to BAF, and it's direct. And so it will be much easier just to go direct BAF. We should be okay. Shouldn't interfere with anybody. I do see Kenway that he's trying to make me go out on, and it would have been more appropriate. So we are kind of, we'd have to make a phone call in real life. Okay, all right.
Delta 2464, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb and maintain flight level 230, Delta 2464.
Delta 2464, request permission to go direct to BAF. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude, I'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. We've now reached an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it'll be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies.
Climb and maintain flight level 300, Delta 2464.
Beer, wine, and spirits are available, complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know. They are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
Delta 2464, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Climb and maintain flight level 340, Delta 2464.
And he's stepping us up little by little. I think our final climbs flight level will be 380. altimeter to standard.
Delta 2464, contact Boston Center on 126.225.
Contacting Boston Center on 126.225, Delta 2464. Boston Center, Delta 2464. Good morning, climbing through 18,000 from flight level 340. Delta 2464, Boston Center, good morning.
All right. We're climbing up to 380. This isn't a long flight. This isn't a long flight, but it is. We got about 786 miles. We'll be going into the Atlanta area, and approaching for runway 26 right in Atlanta. We'll be coming on the Aussie 2 arrival. Flask transition. Not really anticipating anything out of the ordinary.
Delta 2464, climb and maintain flight level 380. Climb and maintain flight level 380. Delta 2464.
Okay. Right, this is where the pilot can get a cup of coffee and do whatever he has to. All right.
Dear guests, the cabin crew will now begin the snack and beverage service. We have some delightful options for you today, including our signature cookies and refreshing beverages. After the service, selected items from the Delta Airlines shop will be available for your perusal. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy your refreshments.
Delta 2464, contact New York Center on 121.125. Contacting New York Center on 121.125, Delta 2464. New York Center, Delta 2464. Good morning, at flight level 380.
Delta 2464, New York Center, good morning.
Good morning, Captain Good. Would you like anything to drink or a small snack while we're cruising?
We have time compressed, so we're doing about a 2.4x time speed. So when I'm in cruise level, it'll abbreviate a little bit of the time I spend in cruise up here at flight level, and we'll get to the backside, and then at the point of top descent, I turn off anything that has to do with the time speed compression, and it goes back. That way it just saves us a little bit of time in between, just for the sake of I know it's I don't want it to be a buzzkill for realism, but it you don't always have that time in between. It especially comes in handy on the flights that are like out of Paris. Like I've got a flight that will come out of Atlanta today that goes all the way to Paris, and yeah, that one definitely will need a little bit of help. I went to a more low-profile flight information model, which I use FlyJet's app to help with overlays. That's why if you want information on the flight, you just look at the top of our screen, on top of your screen, and you'll see like some general information in that top area that explains more about the flight, and the information to your right is the real-time information, like altitude. You'll see on there, and our speed and heading. I even noticed that it tracks the vertical speed. That was kind of cool. The traffic you're seeing, you see a lot of the little labels of traffic around us are coming out of Traffic Global. There is another program it's a free program that you can get on the forum, but I don't like it because Traffic Global seems to respect me and my boundaries and my aircraft, and doesn't like roll over me and that kind of thing. And I think the other one, they don't have that down yet.
64, contact New York Center on 124.775.
And so
contacting New York Center on 124.775. Delta 2464.
I blame that on world traffic. No,
New York Center, Delta 2464. Good morning with you, flight level 380.
Delta 2464, New York Center, good morning.
So live traffic and world traffic, there's two things. Live traffic, I don't like the one that's on the forum that you can use directly in X-Plane, because as much as it gives you plenty of traffic and adds to the, like, ingest that traffic, it rolls over you. Like it's set to where it can't do collisions, but it's still it's a buzzkill. You can be parked in your spot at the gate, and it will come up and take your spot. It's just roll right over you, and it's buzzkill. Traffic Global has a feature, and the minute that you roll into a gate, if your gate has been taken by one of the Traffic Global aircraft, it will just disappear. Like it goes away the minute you pull into the space. And I like that. If you are taxiing, it will wait if it sees you coming and allow you to pass. If you are like head to head with an aircraft, it doesn't resolve it itself. You have to go around, but it doesn't just
Delta
roll over.
2464, contact Washington Center on 126.875.
Contacting Washington Center on 126.875, Delta 2464.
So my recommendation's traffic global. I think
Washington
it's
Center,
best
Delta 2464. Good morning at flight level 380.
Delta 2464, Washington Center, good morning.
Yeah, so yeah, traffic global is probably the best one if you're trying to add traffic into your X-Plane 12 and you want something that feels immersive, looks good, plain the everything. And here's something else I like about it. When you go to install it, you don't have a list of things you have to do. You download from you have to purchase it now, but you download it. It's one file. It installs itself into your X-Plane 12. You don't have to do anything additional, along with the aircraft, that it's like the aircraft models. So then all you have to do is start it up and make sure that you have collisions off in the program, but it just automatically works. The plug-in gets loaded and you have aircraft. It's that simple. World Traffic has a few more steps, and I'm just not as big of a fan because of the AI. Unless they've been working with their AI is a little bit not as smart. I don't want to go to the point to say dumb, but they're just not as smart, and so that's why I haven't been using it. The disadvantages of Traffic Global here that you see, the disadvantages are the things that I don't like is that if my SimBrief flight plan creates itself and I think it's making an accurate and correct flight plan for the time it is factoring in winds and everything for the runways, then you go into your flight and the Traffic Global planes are taking off at the opposite end of the runway. That part to me is annoying, and I don't know exactly what to do. I need to get on their forum and discourse and say something about it, but that's the only thing that just like annoys me. But it's bearable, and I also use say intentions. So what I do to compensate for that is when I'm at an airport like Atlanta, especially where you've got lots of planes arriving and departing, and I see that the aircraft are going in the opposite direction, I simply say on say intentions to ATC, reassign me to runway 26 right, and it'll automatically it'll acknowledge me. It will not push back on me, and it will give me runway 26 right, and then I can just make my adjustments and take off with the other aircraft at the field, the airplane, the airport. So there's kind of ways, there's workable ways, and it's not that part there is not as annoying. Right, we're 439 miles from our arrival, which isn't too far off. Typically what you do when you pull up Navigraph, it will tell you you're 400 miles from your arrival, and you're looking in at your aircraft and it says your distance to the runway is like 430 or something like that. The reason for that is that Navigraph measures point to point. So wherever you are and wherever the runway is, it's just measuring between two distances, 2 points. Whereas your flight plan and what pulls up on like the FMS or the McDo is the exact miles that you're going to travel to get to the runway. So it may be that you have to go further down south and then make a right turn and to go west and transition, and that transition is going to take more space. So it counts for that. So it's giving you actually the flight plan, the miles you're actually going to fly. So that's the difference. If you ever wonder why the numbers are off and you're going, oh, something's wrong with my flight plan, it's not. It's exactly right. It's more extreme though when you are at the opposite end where you have to pass the airport and come back around, and you'll see the numbers probably a lot higher sometimes that of miles. That there'll be a bigger discrepancy. It may be 30 to 50 miles. I've seen 100, as much as 100 miles. Okay, we're going to kill off just some more miles here. We're at about 366 miles out. And I'm trying to get it closer to top of descent before I take off the time compression. All right.
Delta 24.
Washington Center, Delta 2464. Good morning with you, flight level 380.
Delta 2464, Washington Center, good morning. Delta 2464, contact Atlanta Center on 124.425.
Contacting Atlanta Center on 124.425, Delta 2464. Atlanta Center, Delta 2464. Good morning, with you, flight level 380.
Delta 2464, Atlanta Center, good morning.
We're 275 miles outside of the runway, and you'll see that continue to trickle down. We're about a 2x speed. What's that not changing? All right, we've just had a pickup here. So let's see. Right now we've hit a state. Here's what I'm going to do. We keep saves. So I'm going to close this out. I don't know what happened. We're going to leave that up. Say, oh, hang tight. I'm going to quickly save off that file. I'm going to do this quickly because I don't want to lose too much time. Custom scenery. We're looking for the log file. So I'm going to take that log file. I'm going to copy it. I want to drag it over here. Paste. And we want to replace the file, whatever file's on my desktop right now. Okay. So we've done that. I'm going to go back to here. It doesn't sense movement in the plane, so right, that's why it's fussing. We're going to go back. I'll walk you through this in case you ever run into it with the tallest Airbus. Here's how I see if I can get back to as close as I can to the flight and see if it'll let me. Okay. The XP organizer program I was using outside of, that's how I go in every time because it makes sure everything is like organized correctly, and my custom scenery checks my planes. I really like that app. Okay, I'm going to resume this flight, last flight, because I just need to get back in. And this isn't actually the safe flight here. We're now, once we get into the tallest aircraft, we will go to, I'll show you where we go to get to the saved files. And we can get back to this. Kind of resume the flight and see if I can get everything to cooperate. Because right now I got say intentions and I have my ACARs, which is saying, hey, dude, what you do? What's wrong? Why are we not moving? And we'll go back and examine why to do that. Chances are it probably was, but a combination of time compression and traffic global. And I'm sorry, sometimes it does mess up. That's the first time it's actually messed up doing that together. in a while. Okay. Keeps me short. Okay, now from here we go to plugins, call us, ICS screen. We want to go to startup situations, auto save situations. Situation load. That's a lot of information to keep up with. Right, what's wrong? Can't move everything there. Oh, there it goes. Okay. We're at 380. Okay, what's going on? Okay, now I go back here and I go lost connection, resume flight now. Yes. I go back to my this here, paused. See if I want it. I want to resume it. I was hoping it would just give me an option to like reconnect, but I may have to redo the flight. If it is, that means I just kill. It's killing my say intentions. I just would prefer to use it. Let me see. Is there anything I can do?
Significant cloud. Temperature 20.
I need to learn more about checklist on this. I don't know a whole lot about it. Right, if this isn't coming back, how about, well, I'll do this. I'll take off say intentions, bring it back up. Got that. Reconnect.
Right. Atlanta Center, Delta 2464, morning, maintaining flight level 380.
Delta 2464, I'm not seeing your transponder. Confirm squawking 6232 mode C ident one more time for me.
Philadelphia approach, Delta 2464. Good morning at flight level 380. Atlanta Center, Delta 2464, morning. We're maintaining flight level 380.
2464, Atlanta Center, maintain flight level 380.
All right. Do you see what just happened there? We were able to regroup and get the flight back. So we're now, I'm not going to put on
Delta
top compression again.
2464, radar contact 7 southeast of Twin County Airport at flight level 380, Hillsville altimeter 3004, turn left heading 215, direct to Old when able, then is filed.
Radar contact, flight level 380, Hillsville altimeter 3004, turning left heading 215, direct to Old when able, then is filed. Delta 2464. Maintain flight level 380, Delta 2464.
All right. I don't know why she was fussing at me because we are direct yield. Okay. Okay. So everything seems to be back. We were able to regain our everything. Our plugins, everything's set correctly. Yeah, we're good. Okay, that right there, no, I'll say Tallus, you gets a shout out. And honestly, I think on the 777's got a new feature of auto save on it, and I have not hammered it to test it yet, but I think it works well. The only problem I'm having with the flight factor Boeing 777-300ER, which is one of my favorite aircraft. It's more of a man's aircraft, got more hands-on. They add a whole lot more into it, but it's not showing up correctly on my ACARs. On Delta, I haven't tried it on another version, but it's just not showing up correct. All right, really impressed right now. Okay, so let's get our descent information in. brake mode's going to stay low, not necessary for go hard. And for performance, phase, and descent approach will be. Why does it do that? $3002. I gotta figure out why it does that. You saw I even changed the setting. Okay, temp is 27. And we're doing winds are at 290 at 5. We're set for arrival. We are 62 miles from top of descent. We're going to go ahead and set our descent down to 4,000, not 400, 4,000 feet. Okay. We're 176 miles from the runway. 166 miles from the airport, literally. And about 38 miles from top of descent. 38 miles. Seatbelt signs on.
Understood, Captain. I will prepare for the descent and ensure the cabin is ready.
That was a great recovery today. I was thrilled with the way that the tallest Airbus A320 responded. When we needed to reload the flight, didn't feel, it was just seamless. It just got right back in. We were able to continue our 8 cars. It just went great. It's awesome.
Understood, Captain. I will prepare for the descent and ensure the cabin is ready. Would you like your usual coffee with half and half and a pastry before we descend?
Please, that would be very nice.
Understood, Captain. I will bring coffee with half and half and a pastry to the flight deck now.
Half and half. I love it. I love it. My ancestors had English accents. It's been a nice flight, I think, for the passengers. Brian, would you get our clearance to descend on the Aussie 2 arrival?
I'll request clearance to descend on the Aussie 2 arrival.
Atlanta Center, Delta 2464, requesting clearance to descend via the Aussie 2 arrival.
Delta 2464, descend via Aussie 2 to 5000 flash transition into Atlanta, altimeter 3004.
Descend via Aussie 2 to 5000, flash transition into Atlanta, altimeter 3004, Delta 2464.
Got it. Got it.
Delta 2464, contact Atlanta Center on 123.725.
Contacting Atlanta Center on 123. Atlanta Center, Delta 2464. Good morning, descending flight level 380 for 5000.
Delta 2464, Atlanta Center, good morning.
Captain, I have your coffee with half and half and a pastry ready for you. I will bring it to the flight deck shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, we have left our cruising altitude and are beginning our approach to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Please return to your seats, stow your tables, fasten your seatbelts, and note that the use of the lavatories is no longer allowed. Thank you for your cooperation.
Attendants, please prepare the cab for arrival.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
We're at about 2,500 feet per minute descent. We have a hard stop at 090, but that's only if we're at that particular waypoint by then. But at the pace we're going, we probably will hit that and have to just hold fast at around 9,000, and then we'll continue into a stepping down of 8,000, 7 to 5, and then I think at 4,000 we capture. Ryan, do a descent and an approach briefing.
We will be arriving in Atlanta on runway 26 right using the ILS approach. We'll be flying the Aussie 2 arrival with the FLAS transition. Transition level is 18,000 feet. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 26 right. Weather at arrival shows winds 290 at 5 knots, few clouds at 4,500 feet, few at 10,000, scattered at 25,000, temperature 27, dew point 22, altimeter 3004. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Squawk code remains 6232, and approach frequency will be 124.6. We'll configure for landing with flaps full. Final approach speed will be 134 knots. Once on the ground, we'll be taxiing to gate A11. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
Delta 2464 descending from flight level 380 to 5,000.
Altitude at 270 and descending. Speed is about 270 knots. QNH is already set for when we pass the 18,000 transition mark. Local time is 0921 here in Atlanta. Beautiful city. I think Charlotte's prettier, not as large, but prettier. All right, so we just had another one of those incidents, and on this flight, that's two on this, and it's not a long flight. It's only a 2-hour flight, and usually it never happens recently. It just hasn't been happening. So I don't know what is particularly taxing about this flight. There's nothing that should be, okay, but we're gonna go back in. We're gonna redo it. or I'm gonna go back and follow the steps. Maybe it's good. So you get a chance to see this twice. If you go back and watch this later and you're wondering how to do this on the tallest. So we're going back in. Oh, got it. I got it. I do like there was a point with X-Plane 12 where I could not go back in like this, and it would crash out. And talking about on a flight, it's like it was guesswork whether you're going to make it in or not. And something's changed recently. They've done whatever work they've done, it's been working really consistently. X-Plane has. So I'm not blaming X-Plane for this because plugins usually are the downfall, and there's just certain things I really like using, and I'm not going to stop using them. See here, okay, so we're back in. We're going to go back to situation, the autosave situation. We're going to load this. Now, I have not turned the plugin off for Traffic Global or anything. Everything's, in other words, we're going back in. I have not changed anything. We're just going to try to make it work. We'll see where it dropped us. I can't do this. We're 288 miles out again. It's knocked us back. So we're going to have to end this flight. So I hate to end this like this, but we will pick this back up. We will figure out what's wrong. And I tell you what we will do. I'm going to go ahead and reluctantly close this out. So I'm going to stop this. We're going to go back out of the program. We're going to close this out. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but I'm going to close this. Close this, stop the service. And we're going to go back to ChatGPT. And from here, we're gonna drag in the log file and tell it to please diagnose crash. If you wonder what I'm doing, this is ChatGPT, and We're going to add a file from our desktop. Looking for the log file. Here we go. Okay, or let's take that up and let's see what Chat GPT tells us. Thinking. Oh, look at the crash. SAM 3.1.10. Lots of Sim Heaven Road network warnings. Say intention Skynet. Good catch. Okay, so I've got Skynet. Should be off everywhere. Make sure that Sky Ops. But, okay. All right, we're going to go Sky, say intentions. Let's go this way. See if there's some setting here.